Alright, let's be real for a second. Learning to play guitar, well, it's not easy. 6 strings, sore fingers, and months of practice just to play something that doesn't sound terrible. That is the deal you have to make. And honestly, not everyone has the time or patience for that. And that is why the next thing caught my attention. This is the LiberLive C1. This is the world's first stringless smart guitar. At first glances, it kind of looks like a futuristic prop, but it's actually doing something pretty wild. It's a guitar without strings. Instead of frets and strings, it uses pressure pads and flickable paddles, so you can play full chords just by tapping or flicking. Think of it more as a rhythm tool than a full-blown instrument. But the real question is it something that is readily available to the average consumer? So I guess the burning question is this product truly worth that asking price? Well, let's first start by unboxing it. So unboxing this guy, and in the box you get the LiberLive C1 itself, a soft carry case, a USB-C charging cable, some chord stickers, and a little user manual. The case that comes with this guitar is certainly going to come in very handy at saving it from the odd scratches. As a whole, the build quality is pretty good. So what is this guitar really? Well, it is a digital guitar designed to be radically more approachable than a traditional one. And beyond the concept, the hardware itself is pretty clever. The C1 is compact and foldable, making it easy to stash in a backpack or carry around. And the whole thing folds in half neatly and locks into place when not in use. That's certainly going to come in very handy when you want to take this anywhere with you. You can just throw it into a backpack or simply carry it, and it's not going to be too cumbersome. Now, the body includes 21 chord buttons across the neck, and on the strumming side you've got paddle style strummers that mimic the feel of actual guitar strings. They respond to your flicks with surprising realism. There's also an onboard speaker, surprisingly decent for its size, a headphone jack for quiet play, and a volume knob for quick adjustments. It is wireless too, as it has a built-in battery that charges via USB-C and can give you up to 12 hours of playtime on a single charge, so that's pretty impressive. Now, using this with the supplied app is where the magic really happens, and it connects via Bluetooth and acts as your control center. It lets you switch chord sets, change keys, select rhythms, adjust tempo, and toggle the onboard metronome. And one of the highlights, that interactive chord sheet. This screen guides you visually while you play, highlighting which chord to hit next. It's kind of like karaoke for guitar. You just follow the prompts and strum. It is super useful for beginners or anyone who wants to learn songs without reading tabs. With just a few minutes of fiddling around, you can actually make decent music. It's a mix of tactile feedback from the paddles and real-time guidance from the app that makes the whole thing feel really responsive and rather fun. Honestly, the way this thing works is part of what makes it so satisfying. There's something really intuitive about the whole process. It's like the developers went out their way to remove every barrier between you and playing music. It's kind of hard to describe until you actually try it, but it's like all the usual friction of learning chords and developing finger strength is just gone. And that just means you can focus on playing, on enjoying the moment, and experimenting with different sounds. Now, the touchpads are responsive but not too sensitive. The paddles have some range depending on how hard you flick them, which makes it feel dynamic and expressive. I was actually surprised how quickly I got into the rhythm with it. It is very easy to be able to play music on this. Now, the neck's loaded with pressure-sensitive pads, each one mapped to real chords: C, D, M, E, M, F, G, A, M, and B, M. Just tap a pad, flick the paddle, and boom, full chord, no finger gymnastics required. The paddle system is actually one of the standout features here, and certainly one of my favorites. It's designed to mimic the real feel of strumming, and the way it reacts to your flicking pressure makes the experience surprisingly tactile and expressive. Once you've got the basics down, you'll find the app gives you even more flexibility, from switching keys and rhythms to following real-time chord chord sheets. It's definitely intuitive and certainly helpful without feeling too overwhelming. The tones are rather clean, punchy, and better than you'd expect, just enough to keep things interesting while you're jamming. You can also play individual chords thanks to the guitar's finger picking pads. Simply press a chord area on the chord pad with your left hand while pressing a single string on the finger picking pad with your right hand to play the sound of individual strings. This makes it possible to pick out simple melodies or little note patterns, adding another expressive layer to your playing. You've also got a volume knob and some basic rhythm backing to play with. The speaker isn't going to blow your mind, but it's better than expected and totally fine for smaller spaces. You've obviously got the option to connect this up to an external sound source, but as a whole, as an internal speaker goes, it will do the job for your own solo practicing. So I guess the question is, who is this really for? Well, I guess it could be anyone from singers, beginners, kids, and even people with arthritis. It's especially great for folks who either don't have the time or energy to commit to learning a traditional instrument, or who've tried and found it too physically demanding. It's also a great fit for professional musicians who don't play traditional instruments. If your focus is on vocals, songwriting, or even laying down rough musical ideas quickly, this gives you a super portable instant access rhythm tool. There's no setup, no tuning, or guesswork. It's certainly an empowering feeling to be able to pick up an instrument and actually play something almost immediately. But as always, there are some things to be aware of. As I said earlier, the built-in speaker is solid for indoors, but outdoors, well, it's not that great. You are certainly going to need to hook this up to a speaker. Also, the app works well overall, though I did have a couple of moments where the Bluetooth connection dropped or took a bit of time to sync up. That said, it's not difficult to use. I'd expect future updates to smooth things out even more, but as a whole, the app is really good. It just allows you to have so much more customization. So is it worth the asking price? Well, I think that's where the value becomes clearer. If you're a purist, someone who's been playing for years and wants absolute control over your tone and technique, this certainly isn't going to replace your current setup. But that's not what it's here for. This is for the people who just want a simple way to make music. Maybe you've always wanted to play, but traditional guitars feel overwhelming. In most cases, it really makes sense. I don't think it's built for professionals, and it's not trying to be. For some people, the price might feel a bit steep for what it is right now, but if you're someone who just wants to pick up an instrument and start playing music without lessons, gear, or frustration, it's honestly hard to beat. It's a gateway, not a replacement, and that's exactly what makes it special. So if this is something of interest to you, be sure to check it out in the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Till next time.